YouTube disclaimer. This video is pure fantasy fiction, not to be taken as a statement of fact for entertainment purposes only. Now, here's the scenario. I'm trying to do in this video that is it possible for a true sovereign warrior, someone following the natural law with pure instinct, a pure soul, and a good amount of knowledge, but it's an instinctive knowledge in natural law, and they've got no knowledge about the legal system, but they know they're in the right, they're in the true. Could they defend themselves in court, in modern day court? Or would they just go straight to prison? Because they don't know legal system, but they know law. And I do believe true natural law should trump it. It should trump the legal system. You should still be able to defend yourself all alone, without a lawyer, in court, just with the knowledge and instinctive knowledge of natural law, and by being a sovereign. You must have the sovereign mindset. Hi there, my name is Toby, and I call this channel Body Efficiency Training because I believe that is the beginning of everything. You see, we are spiritual beings living in this physical realm. The spiritual realm and the physical realm are two extensions of the same energy, the same chi, life force or ether. And if we can get our body efficiency right, that will help everything. That will help our mind and our spirit and our soul. But I would suggest the quickest way, even if you're suffering from mental problems, emotional problems, is to go back and work on your body. Because all of your internal trauma is locked in your body positioning. You will see your body posture collapses and it will change and it will move in different ways. You'll have a cramp in your body where the trauma is manifesting. So if you work to realign, open up your spine, get your shoulders loose, the hips loose, feel the flow of energy in your body. In other words, improve your posture, improve your body's alignment. That will improve your mental alignment. It will improve your soul. It will increase the energy that can flow through your body, and it will increase what I call your soul power. So that's why I call this body efficiency training, even though I talk about a lot on this channel. I come at this from many, many different angles. But to me, it's all one and the same thing. How do we live in this world? How do we optimize ourselves to get the most out of life? And how do we optimize exercise, using our body to get the most out of it, the most benefit for the least amount of effort? It's not about working hard, this is about working smart. So you're not trying to improve your fitness, you're trying to improve your alignment, your positioning, your posture, and keep it that way. Again, the end goal of body efficiency training is to become a stronger being. I want to become more integral, have ability to channel more energy, more in control of my life. And in order to do that, I have to master myself. I've got to be a master of my own body. So when I'm exercising, I'm not doing that just for the sake of it, but when I exercise, I'm trying to increase the mastery I have over my body. And the mastery over your energy requires your intention. It's called, in Taoist philosophy, you have the chi, which is the energy, and you have the E, spelt Y-I, or Y-double-E, pronounced Y-double-E. And that is your intention, your mind power, or what I call your soul power. It's the ability to command your energy. That's what it all boils down to. It boils down to coherence. Your mind, body, spirit have got to combine and cohere into one point, and that will be here in your heart center, the seat of your soul. And if you can achieve this, you can call yourself a sovereign. A sovereign. And this is a very interesting concept. You are king or queen of your own dominion, your own space, your own aura, your own body. You are in charge of yourself. Very, very important. If we can get this, then this is key to getting everything else. Everything else in life comes from this. You see, if we are not sovereign, we're not in charge of ourselves, who is in charge of us? Someone else is telling us what to do. And you've got to look deep inside. You'll see someone else is telling you. Someone has taught you something, maybe from a childhood, and you're following that instruction. Or someone right now is telling you something. In other words, we're under a level of hypnosis. Hypnosis is someone telling you what to do, and you're not aware of that. And the only way you can become aware of that, immune to hypnosis, is to be sovereign, to be in charge of your own mind, your own soul, and your own body. And then you'll know, you'll feel it. Hang on a second, someone's trying to control me here. I'm not having that. So this is the concept of being sovereign, master of yourself. And it's an awareness. You've got to be self-aware. Self-aware. And this applies to society, all of us working together, because you've also got to recognize everyone is a sovereign. Each one of us are self-aware singularities of spirit, or soul, you can call us each a soul. And we're all sovereign, so we've all got to get along. So you have to work out ways to get along. And that is the natural law. The natural law is the way that sovereigns can work together to improve and cooperate and help each other. And the natural law boils down to something very simple. It boils down to do not harm. So you never initiate physical harm or any sort of harm. Do not steal. You don't take anyone else's stuff. And you don't cheat. You don't commit fraud. You don't break your promise. And if you follow these basic rules, I mean, you can do whatever you like as long as you don't break those rules. And if you break those rules, another sovereign is going to call you up. They're going to say you broke those rules. Now, a true sovereign will understand that natural law is ambiguous. It's abstract. It's very hard to know, to follow it 100%. It's like body efficiency. The more you can never have, as it were, 100% efficiency. You creep in the efficiency up. And it's the same with following the natural law. It's a very abstract thing. It's a pure ideal. So we can only attempt to follow it, and we follow it more and more and more. And the better we follow this natural law, the more efficient we become, and the more we can get out of life, the more energy comes to us. That is why we follow the natural law. It is to our benefit. Following the natural law is the most efficient way of being. And if you break the natural law, you're being an obvious criminal, harming other people. Now, it seems on the surface that you're gaining something. Yeah, I've got some wealth, I've stolen it. Or it seems like I've got some energy. You can do this by controlling another person. A narcissist will do this, they take your energy. So you think, I've got more energy. But this is only temporary. It's not true energy because there's not wisdom there. The true energy comes from cooperation. It comes from gratitude. So it is given to you, but the energy must come to you in the form of gratitude. The only way you can get gratitude is if you've done something nice for someone else and they feel it from their heart. Oh, thank you. And they give you gratitude. Now, if you're stealing it, there's no real gratitude there. It's coming out of fear. It's coming out of pain. It's coming out of worry. Oh, I better do that because they told me to do it. Intimidation. So you're getting that energy, you're getting that life force, but you're getting it by breaking the law. And what happens then is you yourself are fragmenting. You're getting lost. You cannot be integral in yourself if you're breaking the law. In fact, what you're doing is getting lost in your search for power. You're getting lost in all the people that you're harming, all the things that you are stealing. Your soul is getting lost in this materialism. So ultimately, a criminal is a materialist. They're searching for physical objects, physical wealth, physical power, control over other people. Why do they need control over other people? To support their physical life. They're lazy. I need a lot of servants to look after me. Bring me my coffee. What's this cappuccino? Too hot, too cold? Chuck it at them. I'm lazy. I want power and everyone should serve me. So this is the difference between the Jedi and the Sith. The Sith are searching for power by taking it, and the Jedi are gaining power. They don't want power. They're gaining power because they are searching for harmony, symbiosis, cooperation. And that way you've got infinite power. Because I'm friends with everyone, the whole universe. Every being in the universe is my friend, and I see it on an equal basis. I'm not trying to steal with it, I'm sharing. So when I need energy, The whole universe comes to me. And it's natural. It comes with gratitude. In a Sith, a narcissist, they think they've got power, but they've only got as much power as the number of souls they have stolen. The number of people they got power over. There could be a lot of power. They have control of a lot of people, but nowhere near as many people or souls as a Jedi, because the whole universe is behind a Jedi. So I've done a whole lecture series on natural law where I'm trying to explain this and how this might work in the real world. So the real world, we've got a legal system. A legal system, very complicated, very elaborate system of law. Now you need to understand there is a difference between law and legal. Law is the real thing. It should come from natural law. But again, now it's got very complicated, and some of those laws are questionable as to whether they really are coming from natural law. And then you've got legal. Now, legal has got nothing to do with law. That is an extension of law, and it's all to do with corporations. It's to do with business, money. So it's all about money. Nothing to do with real living things, living men and women. And that is where all the corruption has come to pass. Because now everything is in the legal world. Everything has become this thing called a corporation. And a corporation is literally the talking dead. Corpse oration. The talking dead. It's a zombie. Because a corporation is not physical. It's a made-up thing. It's a fictional entity. A dead entity. It's only paperwork. And it's made up by people who don't want to have any responsibility. A corporation is invented to absolve anyone, any living man or woman of responsibility. So you can do your business and you don't really have to care about people anymore. So we don't want that. But when you go to court now in the modern world, mostly you're going to a magistrate's court, an administrative court, and it's all just legal. Now, of course, in real lawful cases where you've had physical harm, someone has, injured someone else, now you have to go to a court of law, and there should be a jury. Now, that's the way you can tell. A real court of law should have a jury, because that is the only authority in honest, true law. It must come from a decision of a group of true, independent, living men and women who think about it, and they've got to give their decision. That's the authority, not the judge. In the legal system, you don't need a jury because the judgment comes from the paperwork. They just look through all the paperwork and say, you've broken this rule, you've broken that rule, you're guilty. And you fight in the legal system by, again, looking back through the rule book and saying some ones that you like. Oh, no, this one works for me. You say I broke this one, but I've got this one. So you're just fighting back and forth with paperwork. Nothing to do with real men and women or real life scenarios. So that's why legal is to do with corruption, and really it's all about tax. They're just trying to extort money from us and control us. And that's the world we've got now. We've got a world of scarcity and poverty because the powers that be are taxing us into oblivion. Simple as that. And the powers that be are the financial system, the legal system, and the state. All of these things work together. Now, here's the scenario. I'm trying to do in this video that is it possible for a true sovereign warrior, someone following the natural law with pure instinct, a pure soul, and a good amount of knowledge, but it's an instinctive knowledge in natural law, and they've got no knowledge about the legal system, but they know they're in the right, they're in the true. Could they defend themselves in court, in modern day court? Or would they just go straight to prison? Because they don't know legal system, but they know law. And I do believe true natural law should trump it. It should trump the legal system. You should still be able to defend yourself all alone, without a lawyer, in court, just with the knowledge and instinctive knowledge of natural law, and by being a sovereign. You must have the sovereign mindset. Again, without that, it won't work. You must truly believe, I am a sovereign, I am following the natural law. You must follow it. You must be standing in honour and truth. If you've broken it, it won't work. Now, you've got to understand this. If a sovereign breaks the law, they don't realise it would only be by accident. And the moment they've broken it, they realise, I broke the law. And they'd be very, very sorry. They'd go straight into shame. They'd be very remorseful, and they'd go and apologise, and they'd do everything in their power to fix it. They would offer remedy. And if you've done wrong, you accidentally really damaged another person, you would accept it. I would go to court and say, I did bad. I'm ever so sorry. I will do whatever it takes. I will work to pay this off because I didn't want that to happen. And a sovereign would admit it if they actually broke the law. But on the flip side, if they haven't broken the law and someone else is telling them that they had, and I'm thinking, hang on, I haven't broken the law. How dare you tell me I've broken it? What have I done? I know I haven't. Then that person telling me is breaking the law, and I'll be upset. I'll be saying, hang on a second, you're accusing me of something. How dare you? In fact, now you're trying to do something. You're trying to trick me. You're the one breaking the law here. So a sovereign warrior would also defend the law for themselves, and they would defend the law for other innocent people. And especially for children, they would defend children because children are not yet sovereign. They still need to be looked after, protected. So a sovereign would uphold the law. Now let's take a scenario. Imagine there was a sovereign warrior from the past, the old days, and they don't know anything about tax and the legal system, and they popped here into this world now, and they're living in this world and doing a little job somewhere. They work there. Maybe they're a metal worker, so they're making metal craft. And then they start getting letters from the council. Please pay your council tax. They don't know what these are. They just throw them in the bin. And eventually some men come and knock on the door. So I want some money for the council tax. Well, what's that? I don't know what that is. Buy. And eventually they get called up to court, arrested and taken to court. So this sovereign warrior is in court now. Now you've got to understand again, they would be in court not for breaking the law. So the court themselves is acting against the law. They are the criminals, and they're trying to extort money from them. So the sovereign warrior will go to court. How would they defend themselves in court? What would they say? And I think if we think about this, how would I defend myself in court without any knowledge of the legal system, without a lawyer, just with pure logic, philosophy, and an understanding of ethics and natural law, and of course a pure heart, a sovereign warrior heart? Well, I think it might go something like this. So this character, because not me, I've never done this, and I don't plan to ever do this, so it's purely theoretical. I have no idea if it would work or not. Probably won't work, but it's worth thinking about. So the sovereign warrior would go to court. So he would go in honestly and with all innocence and say, all right, I'll go and see what these guys want. They've dragged me here. So you go into the room and sit down and you think, okay, I know what a court is. They will know what a court is. So now, okay, I've been called to court. They'll think, well, great, I've got my chance to say my piece now. Someone is trying to get money out of me. I don't know why. I haven't signed any contract. I've made no agreement with anyone to say that I should give them money. Someone's just coming to ask me for money. As far as I know, that is a criminal enterprise. That's a protection racket. Once a week you must pay me money and I'll look after you. That's what we call tax. That is protection money. Anyway, so they know that. They come to court. So the judge will say, okay, all rise for the judge or whatever. You might do all that. And they might start by saying, please state your name for the court. Or they might say, are you Mr. John Smith? Something like that. So now the sovereign warrior's got a chance to speak, and he'll say something like this. He might say something like this. He'll say, okay, before we go there, I'd just like to say I've come here in good faith. I'm here in good faith. I am a man of honour and truth, and I'd need to know for sure, is this a court in law? What is this? Is this a court in law? Or are we standing in the law here? Is this the law? Is this place a lawful court? Something like that. So they'll have to say, yes, of course it is. Or they might say, no, it's an administrative court. This is just a magistrate court. Now, whatever they say, if they say, yes, it is, then the sovereign warrior would say, well, where's the jury? Where's the jury? I can't see the jury. Oh, there's no jury here. So now he already knows, well, this is not a court. It's not a court. So then he'll say, well, there's no jury. We don't need a jury. This is a magistrate's court. So you'll say, well, what's that? An administrative court. What's administration? What does an administrative court do? Well, we just do what's that got to do with me? If that's got nothing to do with law, that's got nothing to do with me, why am I here? So then they'll say, well, you have broken the Road Traffic Act, or no, the Council Tax Act of something, something, something. So then they'll say, well, is that a law? What is that? Is that a law? Well, it's an act. So it's not a law, it's an act. So how does that apply to me? What law have I supposedly broken that you are calling me here? Have I broken any law? Well, the answer, of course, is no, you haven't broken any law. You've broken their act, their statute, their rules and regulations. So already it's getting to a point where you're just sort of wasting the court's time. They say, look, just tell me your name. We're not here for this. What's your name? And even they might then insist, well, tell me your name. And then I'll say, well, if this is not a court and you've called me here, what is your name? If you've invited me here, it's polite for you to tell me your name first. What's your name? So the judge will say, I am Judge what? You say, well, that's not your name, that's your title. What is your true name? The judge will never tell you their true name. So then you're saying, are you asking me my true name? What are you asking me? Are you asking me my true name? Or are you asking me what people know me as? What are you asking of me? So that's one way it could go. And I don't know what would happen then. But there's another way that could go. It could be more aggressive. So we could go more aggressive. You come to court, so state your name. Or are you XYZ? You say, look, before we go there, I'm here because I've been forced here. Now someone is demanding money from me for no reason. And they're using threats and menaces. And now they have accosted me and brought me here to this room before you. And I do not understand why. I have not broken any law as far as I can tell. So why am I here? Who is demanding this money from me? And they say, you're here because you've broken the Council Tax Act of something, something, something. We say, what does that mean? Is that a law? Is that a law? Are you saying this is a law that I have broken? They'll say it's the act of that. So there's not a law. Are you telling me that the law can compel me to do something? Can the law compel me to do anything? So this is an important thing to understand. The law cannot compel you to do anything. It only tells you what not to do. You can't harm, you can't steal, you can't cheat. It can't tell you what you have to do. You must pay us money. There's no law like that. So if they say, well, yeah, this law tells you must pay this money, we say, well, are you so the law? You're saying the law compels me to do something, are you? That means, am I a slave? Am I a slave? Am I a slave? Because only a slave is compelled to do something. So they're dragging me to court, compelling me to pay money with the threat of going to prison. That is a protection racket. You're extorting money off me without any prior agreement. And if I don't give it to you, you're going to lock me up. That is the criminal offence, not me. They're the criminals. So again, what the judge can say, am I a slave? Well, they can't say yes. They'll say no. So therefore, I am not compelled to do anything. So why am I even here? There is no case. There is no case here. There's no case to answer. So you could go that way. And there's a third way you could go, even more aggressive. Even more aggressively. You could come in, he's been dragged in there, he's into court, goes out, state your name for the court. He said, now, before I say anything, I want to I am a sovereign man, and I've been dragged here against my will. I'm here under force, under duress, and for no apparent reason I can see. I have broken no law under natural law that I can see or understand. So I'm standing here in truth and honour. And this room now is my court. Because someone is trying to take money from me. Someone has given the order to attack me, imprison me, assault me, and I want to know who that is. I want to know who is trying to extort this money from me under threats and menaces. I seek my justice. Now again, the court will just say, we're not here for that. You're just wasting court's time. We don't know what will happen at that point. Now, someone might come up to manhandle you, sit you down, sit down. If they come to touch you, stop, do not touch me. You are now entering my private dominion, because you're getting into the space. So this is what this guy, if you touch me, if you enter my space, I will respond with my true rights to defend myself and defend my sovereign dominion. Do I make myself clear? If you touch me, I will hold you personally liable. I will seek justice against you personally for assaulting me. Do I make myself clear? He'll be talking to the person, the individual, the living being. And you see, this is the way it works. I've called this a sovereign warrior in the underworld because the corporations, these are the underworld. These are the ghosts, the dead entities. They're only dealing with paperwork. And this guy would be a living man, a living woman, a sovereign warrior. So the sovereign warrior enters the underworld. And the only way you can survive in the underworld, this legal system court, is with truth, with light, with honor. And you have to just tell the law. Just tell the law in its simplest fashion. Because that is so simple. The law cannot compel you to do anything. And if you look at the world we live in now, we are compelled to do everything. The legal system is the opposite. You're not allowed to do anything. No, you're not allowed to do anything without permission. So you have to sign, get your license, or without paying a fee. Then we'll give you permission to do these things. It's the opposite. So that's not law. That's a system of control, a system of tax. And it's disguised as law. Because we all got to subscribe. Yeah, we need these rules and regulations. Yeah, we're very disorderly. Yeah, we have to have all these regulations. We need all those taxes because people wouldn't pay. Of course we wouldn't pay. Why would you pay money to a corrupt system if we didn't have to? These guys are not doing good things with that money. If you haven't opened your eyes yet, the money that is taxed is going to support a most terrible corrupt system. The sooner we stop that, the better. Anyway, I wanted to share this. And again, what would this sovereign warrior do? A sovereign is king or queen, and they would only ask questions. That's the way to do it. You don't put yourself in a position of demanding so much as questioning. So in other words, you don't accept anything they say. You don't accept anything. How do you not accept anything they say? You answer with another question. It's just like a competing argument. They're saying you're breaking the law. I say, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, it won't work. Instead of saying you are breaking the law, you say, well, what law am I breaking? Well, you're breaking the Council Tax Act of something. Is that a law? That's not a law. Is that a law? Well, no. So how am I breaking the law? Well, yeah. And what law can compel me to do anything? Can the law compel me to do something? No. So why am I here? If you're saying I've broken the law, someone must have received harm, loss, or injury, or been cheated. Who is that person? Who have I harmed? Who have I stolen from? Who have I cheated? If they're here, bring them, and I'll apologise. But there's no one. It's only a corporation that is calling me to court. That's not even a person. That's a dead entity, a spirit, a ghost, a demon, a zombie. It's nothing. It's fictional paperwork. So I hope this little video made sense, and it's an interesting one to think about. And that is the primary thing. If you do have to face court, I suggest looking at the Sovaryn project. I'll leave the links below. These guys know all about the legal system in great detail and how you can prepare yourself and support yourself in real life court, real life legal situations. But it requires this sovereign warrior mentality. And that is the foundation. And if you have that, you can work out a way. I'm sure of it. I haven't done it, but I'm sure of it. And I'm keep on looking, and I'm keeping on thinking about this. So thank you so much for listening. And do check out my lecture series on natural law, which I explain this a bit more in detail through logic. And the video cut out there, I'm afraid. So I will leave the links below to that lecture series on natural law, and up here as well now at the end. So just to finish this off, I do want to say thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.